Idology is super excited to have Janelle Arthur in the house today. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
We saw you way back in season 10.
Yeah.
We saw your audition. And you allegedly made it all the way to Vegas week in season 11, but we didn't see much evidence of that.
It was really weird because I was like, I promise I did the show, y'all. I promise I was there.
And clearly getting cut in Vegas in season 11, that's a pretty exclusive club to be in, because 3 of the top 5 finalists from this season were cut during Vegas in season 11.
It's crazy.
Amber, and Candace. And you get to season 12, and of course they switch up the entire judges panel with the exception of one person, so it's like now you're auditioning for new people.
Hi, honey pie. How are you?
Nervous out of my ever-loving mind.
I really thought, well, you know, if they don't want me, then I'll just get cut immediately, you know. And I actually had some friends that happened to that made the top 60 with me, or even the top 40. I knew people that got cut the first round.
But you seem to go in with a lot of confidence into that audition, and just really kind of, you seem to really wow Nikki initially.
You already seem like a star.
You did that little tempo change right in the middle and shifted songs.
Transitioned.
I did Love Sick Blues, and I actually did that for the judges. They just didn't show it.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's by Hank Williams. One day or 2 days before the audition, I just thought, man, if I could just sing a Keith Urban song for Keith Urban, I was like, that's really crazy and really nerve-wracking, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it, and I'll be so nervous. But I thought, if I can do it, I was like, this may be my only opportunity to sing for Keith Urban. I said, I need to do it, but I said, but it has to be something cool and memorable. And so then I was like, if I can come up with like a little medley or something, just to like freak him out, I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking.
What did you think? I want to know.
I loved it. Beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Great control.
That means so much.
You get to Hollywood Week. I thought your a cappella first round with I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry was one of my favorite moments of the season that didn't get talked about that much.
Too blue to fly.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself maybe a little bit in that throwback mode, bringing some of that back?
Definitely, I see myself more in the traditional, just mainly rootsy country, you know, just in the category of that. I think like this year I was finally able to sing songs instead of just kind of showing what I could do or just showing off. I was just kind of saying like, this is me. And I think that might be why, you know, I made it as far as I did. I really love to be creative, you know, and so the fact that I was on the show long enough to show that side of myself, that was a blessing in and of itself.
But you had to get through group rounds to do that. You were in a group with Kezban.
Oh my God, bring that up, but I don't want to see it.
I did not think I was making it past group round. I can tell you that. I had a breakdown. Angie had a breakdown.
It's kind of hard to get everyone together at the same time.
I said, I'm sorry, y'all, we're going home. I hate to tell you that, we're going home. And Angie was like, I can't go home.
4 really good people, you and Angie and Brianna and Kezban, who's certainly interesting.
Kezban is awesome.
When they showed you on air, I was like, oh, like it's kind of sounded like 4 people singing 4 different things. The judges were like, great, you're all going through. Did you feel like after you guys were done singing you were gonna get that response?
No. No, it was so funny because I called my friend and I said, they said we were the best group of the day. And she said, and were you? I said, no, we weren't. What just happened?
I think you went into the Vegas rounds this season as a serious frontrunner, and I felt like 2 of your toughest weeks on the show were during Vegas. What exactly happened, especially in that first performance with Just a Kiss? Was something going on with you at that point? You know, I think Keith had talked about the melody sort of pulling you down.
The melody kept pulling you back down, pulling you back down.
I loved Just a Kiss. They thought I was trying to like take the melody up, and in my way, I was just making it my own. I was just taking the song where I naturally would have if it had been my song. It was current and just kind of showed, you know, something I would do if I was going to be on radio, and I love that song, so I was happy to do it.
Once you got through Vegas and into the top 10, you sort of almost had to reestablish yourself with the judges at that point. Did you kind of feel like, okay, I've gone from maybe front runner to more mid-pack or underdog at this point? I
was mainly struggling at the beginning of top 10 because I was sick. So I was trying to fight through that. So top 10 performance, I was sick, and for I Will, I was sick.
Really? Because I thought you kind of really came roaring back with those. I loved top 10 week that you went up tempo when everybody else did a ballad.
I wanted to be able to work the stage because I hadn't been able to do that yet. I'm not going to do a whole concert of ballads. So I'm not going to do a whole album of ballads.
Right.
I knew that it was time to just bust out, and it was top 10. Why not?
Top 9 week, I think, was one of your great moments on the show with a Beatles song. And we've seen bad things have happened on the show in the past when the Beatles meet country.
I did have some fear, and not because of what I thought I could pull off, mainly what they expected of me. That's what I was the most concerned about. They kind of had me in this certain category, and it's like if they hear me do anything else, even if I can do it well or whatever, it's still shocking for them, and they're like, wait, what happened? Where are you? You know?
Right.
I heard, you know, some different suggestions, and the song I Will came up, and they said Alison Krauss did a cover of it. So immediately when I heard the name Alison Krauss, I thought, well, I'm going to look it up, and I actually ended up not even doing her version, but just really kind of fell in love with the song and just thought, I can do my own thing with it.
There weren't a lot of quiet moments on the stage this season, and I think sometimes that's almost more powerful than a big explosion of sound happening up there.
That's one of my favorite things is dynamics. I love to play around with the push and the pull of everything. Even just when I Call Your Name. I love the belting in the chorus, and then I'm gonna bring it real soft in the bridge, or or the last chorus, the breakdown chorus. And so it's like, I love those kinds of things, and I was glad that they appreciated that.
So we get to top 8 week, and it was, to me, a high point and a low point for you. And you start with the duet. It was weird because it was Motown week, but they called it Music of Detroit, and suddenly there's a Madonna song thrown in.
I know.
How did you increase Settle on Like a Prayer, and how did you feel about the feedback?
We just kind of found out, what we were doing for the duets and everything, and we just kind of like said, well, we can do what we can do with it.
Did you get assigned the song?
Solos, we don't get assigned songs, but like with the trios and the stuff like that, Cree and I were just excited to do a duet together.
Right.
Whenever I was standing there and they were saying all that stuff, it was funny because I told Cree before it even happened, I was like, this is what's gonna happen, and that's what happened, so I was like tapping her back like, here it is, Cree, I told you.
I love you girls together, but Cree definitely outshined you, my darling.
That's okay.
Did it light a fire under you for your solo performance that night? Because I thought that was probably your high point of the season.
Honestly, I was thinking, how am I supposed to sing now? How am I supposed to do this? I'm playing my guitar for the first time with a full live band in front of Keith Urban, in front of the world. I gotta get through this song. I've gotta get through this show. I have had to tap into that before, so I just switched to that channel, and I think it just fueled everything.
Set me free, why don't you, babe?
I was so relieved. That's why I cried after that song.
This is a song you said you'd arranged in that way
A long time ago.
How old were you when you came up with that?
14.
Was this just like 14-year-old Janelle noodling around with her guitar in the bedroom?
I wasn't even playing guitar at the time. I sat in my uncle's living room and I said, Robbie, I said, I hear this song. You know that song? Set me free, why don't you, babe? He was like, well, yeah, I know that song. And I said, well, the 80s version of it that Kim Wilde did, I said, I'd just been listening to it. What if you started out like really slow and it's just like, set me free, and then like the chords, and I just said, but will you play it on your guitar for me? And I was explaining to him, like, will you do this chord? And then he would play one thing. I'd be like, no, that's not it. Because it was hard to explain what was in my head.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Set me free, why don't you, baby? Get out my life, why don't you, baby?
What was it like working with Smokey Robinson and having him advise you on stretching that range towards the end?
Yeah, that was one of the best moments that I had where someone gave me some advice. I thought I needed to establish the melody because it's it was the second chorus, but to me it was like right when the tempo was in and everything, so I thought I need to establish the melody. And then it ended up where he was like, no, he was like, you need to just take it up. You just need to go.
Get out of my life, why don't you, babe?
You went from that to Rock Week and a Billy Joel song, which I dug what you did that week, but that was a tough week on Results Show because they lined up the judges and Jimmy and were like, who's in your top 3? And to me, and I said it on Idology that week, I had Candace and you in my top 2, and I felt like your momentum was fantastic at that point.
Thank you.
And then no one put you in their top 3.
I thought maybe one person put me in their top 3. Even if I was at the bottom of the list, that would have been fine. It's kind of like one of those things where then you're just like, okay, this is television, and I'm here to enjoy every minute of it and just do my thing and be Janelle, and that's one of those moments where you're just like, well, it's okay because I felt good about what I did, and I still felt like, even though I might have not been in what they wrote down, I still feel like I was, you know, on their minds and in their heart.
Your final week on the show, you did Dumb Blonde, and it was actually pretty different from the original version.
Very different.
You kind of rocked it out a little bit and amped it up.
This dumb blonde ain't nobody's fool.
I don't know if everyone on the judging panel got that. Do you wish that, you know, when the song lists leak for the week, that they'd go give a listen ahead of time so they'd know that you weren't just giving a basic karaoke rendition?
Yeah, yeah, that would have been nice. I think they thought, well, if you're gonna do a Dolly Parton song, you know, why wouldn't you do one that's more well-known? Well, the ones that are more well-known, why would I change them up? Why would I change Jolene up? Why would I change up I Will Always Love You? And that limited me in showing my originality, because I'm not Dolly. I'm Janelle.
Right. So
it's hard, you know, because I don't want to be just, you know, like a carbon copy of somebody. It was crazy because a year and a half ago, I was in the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. All of a sudden, I'm sitting on this tram, and I hear the beginning of Dumb Blonde with an electric guitar. And so I'm like, I have to do that on American Idol one day.
In your head?
In my head.
Okay.
No, like in my head.
Okay.
I'm hearing things in my head. And so I start hearing that, and I'm like, this is what I want to do this on American Idol. And then I ended up being cut that year, you know, season 11. And so then this year, whenever it came up and I knew I needed to do a Dolly song, I thought I'm going to do my version of Dumb Blonde, because they always said, when I show my way to make songs my own, they said that's where my strengths are. Mm-hmm. So I thought if I did that, then maybe that would be recognized.
It's been pretty widely rumored and reported that you guys have been working with songwriters towards maybe some original stuff to come out right after the show, or even to come out during the show. Were you frustrated that you didn't get to do any of your own originals during your run on the show?
The day I got cut, I sang my songs, you know, for just because we kind of like sing our songs for people to say, you know, this is what we're planning on doing. So I actually sang an original song. I was going to do an original song this week.
What was it called?
It's called Young and Reckless, and it's on YouTube. It's my only like original that I have out there, other than one other original, but this is my main one that most people know about. And I wanted to do it on the show because I wanted to show, you know, that I can write, and I would have played my guitar again, and I know, and like, yeah, so it would have been really fun. It would have been really awesome. So I was excited about it. So then I was like, man, I didn't get that chance, but hopefully there will be more opportunities.
Hi, I'm Adam Pally.
And I'm Gillian Jacobs.
And subscribe to ENTV
for all your entertainment news first.